Hi there, this is Jeff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my process of creating a Roll20 campaign for Pathfinder Society. I'm going to start with the pre-work, the work I do before I actually even get into Roll20. There's two specific things you need to do. One is get the images that you want for things like maps and handouts in the scenario itself. And second item is create tokens for the monsters or enemies that the players will be battling against during the scenario itself when you actually run it. Now, a lot of this you can actually get from the scenario itself. So if I pull up our scenario here, I've got scenarios. You have what you hold. I've got a number of different actual images in here, but I want the map, so I could get pictures of Holgren's mine, of course. I could grab the image itself. And I need to essentially copy these out in some way, shape, or form and pull them into, and get them saved into an image format that I can then import into Roll20. So I'll just copy this one here. I'll show you actually through the right click. You can of course do Control C and then pull this into Microsoft Paint. Now, this image itself you'll see not perfectly square, but that's okay. We can actually work with that in Roll20, or if you're like me, you might want to actually square it off, but we don't have to do that. I'll show you a little bit how we actually do this. I'll save this file down in PNG or JPEG format, either one is fine. I'll go with PNG, and I'm just going to call this, I'll replace my image there. I do this basically for all of the images in the scenario that I'm going to need. So any of the maps, NPCs, like if I want to have the players see Holgren's mine as a handout, I can add that in there. Or for any of the unique opponents. So in You Have What You Hold, there actually is a unique opponent near the end. So I might actually want to get a picture of good old Hellkit here. Or not. I won't belabor the point, I think you get the idea here. You get those images out, including handouts, and handouts, of course, you might need to do a screenshot of instead, because you can't just select the box and do it, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a gotcha there. So I normally take a print screen and then paste that into something like Paint, and then of course crop it out. So I just got those out and do that for the two handouts. Now, once you've done that, you've got the images you need from the file itself. You want to create some tokens. There's a number of different opponents in this scenario. Most of them are human, but there's some interesting ones as well too that it's actually pretty cool to be able to show the players what they look like. In this scenario, there's a thylacine animal companion that you could show off here. So I would normally Google something like that. I'll just do Pathfinder thylacine and go to an image search, and then I would save the image down. Let's do that. Click Save Image As, and put this in the appropriate folder for our Roll20 tutorial here. Go to Images, Thylacine, Save. So now I've got that there. How do I actually make my tokens though? Maybe perhaps gotten a little bit ahead of myself here. So the process for creating tokens is done through another tool I use called Token Tool. It's a pretty straight up application. It allows you to drag tokens into place, or images into place, and then make tokens out of them. So I'm going to do this for our nice little thylacine here. Drag this in, and maybe I'll select a different border. I like rounded ones, not square ones. And then I just change the zoom. I do some zoom correction here. So maybe I'll just make this a little bit bigger. I try to focus on just having the head show up. Sometimes if you can If the image allows, you can get the whole body in there, but for rounded edges in particular, I tend to just get the head. And then once you've done that, you just save the token. Put this into an appropriate folder again, so that I can bring these images into our actual Roll20 game. So let's call this thylacine token. If I wanted to do the same thing for Holgren's Mine, I could do that. I can make a token of Holgren's Mine. Again, same process. Just resize the image down so his face shows up. And we're good. Now I've got all the images I need, and I'm good to move on to the next step.